Hey, welcome to Everything Neuropathy. I am Dr. Karen May. I am the owner, doctor, visionary. I started this company and because I'm a neuropathy, I had neuropathy and I'm a neuropathy survivor. So that's the reason why I do these. This is for great information. Please know that I always try to give an action step, something that you can do to help yourself. But like always, this is information. Make certain it applies to you. Always consult with your physician if there is something that you have concerns with to make certain it's safe for you. So let's dive in today. We're going to talk about how can I prevent neuropathy. This one's going to be a little longer video. Try to give you some highlights in it. There's over 100 different reasons for neuropathy, and I will go into those in other videos. But there's some common ones. One is diabetic neuropathy. That's the one everyone hears about, but we have plenty of people who don't have diabetes. Another one is surgical induced, which was mine. Another is chemo induced. And so for preventable on type 2 diabetes, please see some of those videos, because there's all of our food as medicine information plays a huge role in preventing neuropathy. But some aren't preventable. My situation, if you haven't really dug into any of the videos, and this is the first thing, is I never anticipated working with people who have neuropathy. I never imagined having neuropathy myself at the age of 40, let alone have any concept of how to prevent it or treat it. Or to get over it, and there just weren't options out there for me. I went through a highlight of this is that I had to have a shoulder surgery for an injury I could no longer manage. I used to work with high-end athletes, some who have Olympic medals, others that are local sports athletes as well at the high school level, college level, and then my private practice. CrossFit athletes, just lots of athletes, and mamas and babies. That was my love and focus. And though I was an athlete myself, I had a shoulder injury I could finally no longer manage, and put it off for over 8 years, and finally had to have that surgery. I woke up without the use of my right and dominant arm, and it wasn't anything the doctors did, I don't believe, but I had a crazy 1 in 100,000 chance complication that destroyed my body, fought something and destroyed all of the nerves in my right and dominant arm, in my diaphragm, some into my face and into my pelvis as well, all on the right side. Well, it was devastating. It happened overnight is what it felt like, and I couldn't have prevented it. It was rare. So some people who have chemo, who you absolutely need to do what's necessary, and if you chose chemo as an option for you to fight your cancer, some of the forms of chemo cause neuropathy. And so yes, you don't have cancer, and thank God you're alive, but you're left with a quality of life, and that's devastating. You didn't do anything to get it. Other people, it can be toxic. So you work in an industry and you've been exposed to chemicals or toxins that you didn't even know had an effect when they interacted with your personal chemistry, and it caused neuropathy. Other people, it's trauma. There's been car accidents, falls, you stand on your feet all day. There's lots of little things that add up in your daily life that have, and then there could be one thing, or I say one straw that broke the camel's back that showed up as neuropathy. What's in common is every single one of us, doesn't matter the cause, is told by the majority of the physicians out there that we've seen I love this, in the traditional medical system. I heard this called the medical delivery system. It's not truly healthcare, it's a medical delivery system. I mean, neurologists, some have amazing hearts and are really trying to help, and other doctors with different letters and degrees behind their name, they all are trying to help, but you're told the same thing. There's nothing more that can be done. You have it, and good luck. Well, that doesn't work. So understand that though it may not be preventable in your situation, in your case, you can reduce it. And you don't have to settle for there's nothing that can be done. And you don't have to settle for that medication to cover up your pain, because that's what the medications are there for. There's multiple different medications, but some of them are what they call off-label for their anti-seizure medications, their antidepressant medications, or mood stabilizing. So there's lots of different medications that they'll try to use, and thank God they're trying, but it's still covering it up. So if you're looking, again, like I said, if you have diabetes and you're just catching in on this, what can you do to prevent? Always use our food as medicine video. If you have neuropathy and maybe you're in the early stages, my goodness, there's so much that you can do. But it really comes down to you and what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? And so you'll hear in every single one of my videos, you got to use food as medicine. And out of our 100% of our health, 70% is what we put into our body. And you may have built-in inflammation meters. So maybe you have a little blood pressure that you need a medication for. Maybe that's because you're inflamed and you could change your nutrition, and maybe you need less medication and your doctor could prescribe less. Maybe you have a little bit of blood sugar. Well, that's inflammation, and so is neuropathy. So if you decrease your inflammation using food as medicine, you may decrease your blood sugar and need less medication, and also help to not kill and destroy nerves. If you have cancer and you're chemo-induced neuropathy, you can reduce inflammatory markers that can help so that your body can work in conjunction with the therapies that you've decided to use to treat your chemo. So there's always something you can do around using food to help heal and repair your body at some level. We just have to be realistic as to, is it going to be the only thing? It's not, but it is 70% of your overall health. So it's a great start. The next thing you can do is make certain that you have good microcirculation. What does that mean? Most people have been told that their arteries and their veins are okay. They've done Dopplers and they're like, well, it's not a circulation issue. Well, they're checking the big ones. They're literally looking at those creeks. They're looking at those rivers. So think of your arteries like a river. They're making certain those rivers are open. But we're talking about the creeks and the streams that come off of the river. That's the microcirculation. And if you can't get blood flow to a nerve, what's going to happen? You'll hear me say this all the time, that microcirculation is key. So if you don't do the internal work to help to prevent neuropathy or to reduce it, so they're just small changes, if you don't decrease and use food as medicine and get inflammation down, and you don't have the ability to get blood flow through those creeks and streams to those nerves, you can't expect to reduce your neuropathy. You can't expect to prevent it. You can't expect to even think about potential reversal in some cases. So you got to do the inside work. And so how do you prevent it? You're going to do it the same way I would tell you to help to work on your health and your heart disease, and how to, if you have diabetes or any other chronic illnesses, or if you have inflammation in your body from weight, if you have migraines, you have sinus issues. I have, for my 18 years of being a chiropractic sports physician, and lots of letters behind my name for chronic pain and neuropathy, and ones I've let drop off but have to do with using food as medicine and nutrition, I will stand and die on this rock. It's what you eat. And so one simple step is just today. If you were to do this, I'm going to tell you, eat vegetables at every meal. I don't care if they're fresh, frozen, raw, steamed, grilled. They just can't be canned, like vegetables canned from the store, or fried, like deep fried, but sauteed in a pan, totally fine. Eat more vegetables. You cannot get healthy if you don't put the right things that have nutrients in them. The other thing is increase your water. I know you're going to think you're going to pee a lot, but microcirculation, if your creeks and streams are dry, you got to put some more fluid into it too. So I've had plenty of videos on that too, but if you have an issue, make certain, like with peeing, get your water intake in between the hours of 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. so that helps. So if you have a medical condition that you can't find, talk to your doctor, but 99% of people can just increase their water intake, straight water. And if you want to know what counts as water, I got other videos for that, but get water in. So those are 2 things you can do today that you can see substantial results with your effort in decreasing pain, decreasing swelling. It's not going to be gone, but a little bit goes a long way. So increase your vegetables at every single meal. Yes, I mean breakfast. Have videos on that too, but do that. Get more water in and watch the videos if you want to know what counts as water. 2 things. Do it today. But that's how you can work at reducing your neuropathy from just basic life changes. And I hate the word lifestyle because styles come and go. We've all had crazy haircuts throughout our years and clothing, right? So think life. You still have to live a life. But also how a lot of the neuropathy that people get, like myself, it's not preventable, but it's reducible or reversible depending on where you're at. So start making changes, commit to those, and don't just say you're gonna do it. Write it down, hold yourself accountable, and do it. And see what your body does. See if you have better digestion. See if you have less sinus congestion. See if you have less pain levels in a short period of time. Eat more vegetables, drink more water. 2 things. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in another Everything Neuropathy. Make certain you go check for our Pinterest page, check out our webinar, and also make certain that you're looking at all of our other videos on here. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions, and we'll be more than happy to do our best to answer. Thanks.